What's up, SE Nation? One of the biggest struggles I've seen SEs face is the relationship they have with their account managers. It's generally not as good as it could be. One of the biggest reasons that happens is sales engineers and account managers don't mainly understand their roles and responsibilities. And a lot of people say stay in your lane, but the best analogy I've heard for sales engineering and account management as a partnership, it's more of a tennis doubles team versus anything else. So they each have their lane, but there's a lot of overlap, there's a lot of coverage for each other. And I wanted to talk about the roles and responsibilities of each of these team members. Hopefully that will help you understand your counterparts better and maybe help them do their roles and responsibilities in a better way, potentially. Or at least just understand where they're coming from so you guys can work together. So we have, I'm using my trusty whiteboard again. So we have AMs, and this is a blackboard, and we have SEs. And for me, the best way for me to think about it personally is, what is their roles and responsibilities throughout the sales cycle for each of these guys? So generally speaking, the sales cycle usually starts with a lead. That could come from the account manager. Part of their responsibility is cold calling, referrals, or just they get some lead from somewhere, basically. Sometimes an SDR would have a little bit more responsibilities here as well, but generally speaking, SDRs they're not part of the team. They partner up with the team sometimes, but they're not part of the team. It's like a doctor, a team doctor that shows up every once in a while, checks on people, and then leaves. From the SE's perspective, we don't really participate much in lead gathering. We could help the account managers. Let's say the account manager is doing cold calling, so we can help them prep for the cold call. We can also get a lot of leads from existing customers, so we get referrals. I don't know if I'm spelling this right, but we do that. We get referrals. I've gotten referrals from customers, and I've passed them on to my salesperson. One thing we could do, I think both account managers and SEs can do this, is go like marketing events, manning a booth. The SE would probably be doing demos. They'd collect data, information, and the data or information doesn't necessarily belong to the sales team. It belongs to the company. It could be spread out across multiple salespeople. But generally speaking, we can do that. And from what I've seen in terms of leads with existing customers, we get a lot of requests for licenses. Like, hey, Mr. SE, how much does this license cost? Or I want to try out this license. And then we get the salesperson involved and tell them, okay, this customer specifically is looking for license X or license Y or product X, whatever it is. So that's what we do with leads. Now, qualification. That's the next step of the sales cycle. Qualification. The account manager will have to do BANT or Medich. I already have a video about that, so I'll link it somewhere and you can check it out. And then the SE will we don't have much to do with qualification in theory. We can help the account manager prep for it as well, like same with cold calls. Let's say there's a bunch of questions that SEs ask every time they meet a customer and they can't move forward unless these questions are answered. There's a lot more questions that we can ask, but these are the common ones. Then we can give that as a checklist to our account manager. Like, hey, check these out. Like, if they answer most of these, then we can jump on the call. If they say no to all of them, then we don't really have a solution for them, for example. So we can help with that in that aspect. Now, the problem becomes when the qualification isn't done. That's the first responsibility lapse, if you will, where the SEs get pissed off at the account managers. I'm being invited to calls that aren't even qualified. I'm being asked to demo for deals that are not qualified. I just traveled across the country to do a demo and the customer doesn't even want our product, so why am I here? So that usually leads to the first area of friction, at least from what I've seen. But let's say qualification is done, the account manager did BANT, did Medich, whatever it is. The next role, the next job is, or the next part of the sales cycle is discovery. And this is where both account managers and SEs have a lot to do. Like, the account manager is doing business discovery. When do you need this by? Like, they already did some of that in the BANT, but they can dig into details. They can check what each of the stakeholders wants or needs. And there's a lot to do with in discovery. I'm not going to go over everything here because that'll be like a 2-hour tutorial. And the SE will do both business and technical. And here, this is where the teamwork shines. The great SE, the great sales teams work together. I've seen a lot of teams where the salesperson comes in for the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes and talks, maybe does a presentation about the company, the history. Oh God, I'm remembering some stuff. Don't do that if you're an account manager. But if you work together and you kind of have a conversation with the customer instead of an interrogation, or 5 minutes for you, 10 minutes for me, split, just work together, have a conversation. It's like you're sitting down with a group of friends and you're just talking, and a lot of information gets gleaned that way a lot better than they do through interrogations. I mean, nobody enjoys to do that, but in the end, in the discovery, we need to know exactly what we need to show in terms of a demo. We need to have a better understanding of if we actually solve the problem for the customer. So there's a lot of things that we need to do when we're doing a discovery call. And then we have the demo. If it comes to that, hopefully it does. Or maybe every time we get a PO early, that's good. But sometimes we have to do a demo. Now the account manager's job is basically to support their SE in preparation for the demo, and also in performance of the demo, and then the follow-up of the demo. I've seen a lot of account managers where they just disappear. They did, like, let's say the SE needs a certain something from a product manager. The SE will take care of that, but it'll be good if the account manager is there to actually support them if, like, they get pushed back or whatever it is. If we need to get this big, like 700 licenses to do this demo, for example, and the PM saying, "Oh, what do you need 700, whatever," and the account manager's job at that point is to come in and defend the business case. That's just one example. It could be with hardware, it could be with software, it could be, "Hey, we're doing a demo. This is a brand new feature that nobody knows. We need the PM team to come and jump on it." And the PM team say, "Oh no, we're busy." A lot of times SEs can take care of it, but having the backup of the salesperson to come and actually help assist and set it up and fight for the resource is very beneficial. But the SE's job basically is to prep for the demo, perform, and then follow up. So we have to make sure that what we're going to talk about in the demo, we have to prep the stories, click every click, as Chris Wright would say. Basically make sure that the demo will be flawless based on the information we gathered in the discovery. And then we have to go into the meeting room or virtually, wherever it is, and perform that demo. And it's a performance. And then after that demo, there's a bunch of questions that came up. There are more opportunities. We did discovery questions during the demo, so we have more information about what they need. We have to make sure that we follow up on all the action items that we've had as an SE team or as an account or as a customer. They may have some follow-ups that they need to take care of. So there's that. Biggest mistake I've seen salespeople do during the demo is sit somewhere, either in the back, the front, or at their desk when it's virtual, and work on other things, respond to other emails from their other customers, and pop up every 5 to 10 minutes and say, "How's everything going? Good? All right." And then at the end of the call, it's like, "All right, what did you guys think?" I mean, if you were participating, you might be able to tell what they're thinking because You could listen to their questions, whatever. But that's a mistake that I hate. When I see my salespeople do it now, I tell them, like, don't come into the demo. I don't need you in the demo. If you're gonna be distracted doing something else, don't come into the demo. So there's that. After the demo, there's usually the POV, POC, pilot, whatever you want to call it. Proof of value, proof of concept, test, trial, whatever you want to call it. So again, the salesperson's job is to support the SE, and the SE's job is to manage the POC. So Tony Matos has a book about POCs. Check it out. There's Proverity. There's Success.app. I think now, I'm pretty sure Vivint has its own POC. So check out those resources. And I'll probably create a video about how to manage a POC. If you're interested in that, let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section so I can create a video about how to manage it. But it's a project that you need to manage, make sure that everything's going well, and escalate whenever needed and all that. And then you have, beyond the POC, we have proposal and negotiation. So the SE has to help build the BOM. So I once said bomb in an airport. Don't do that. It's BOM, bill of material, not the other one. It was awkward as an Arab saying that word and then realizing what I'm saying. So our job is to build the BOM and then support. Now our job is to support the account manager in terms of providing them the ammunition they need to defend a proposal. And now that's the account manager's job. They need to present the proposal, and then they need to negotiate. Yeah, I can't even type. All right, negotiate. So we're building the BOM, they're negotiating based on the information that we've provided. And every time we opened our mouth throughout, from the discovery or qualification, wherever, discovery, demo, proof of value, every time an SE opens their mouth, they're either adding value or removing value. I say that all the time, and I will continue saying that because it's cool and I thought of it, so take that. But basically, this is where all our hard work, all the SE's hard work in previous stages can come to help the account manager. If we showed the value, the negotiation is much easier than if we didn't show the value. If we showed the value, then we're not negotiating on price. If we didn't show the value, then they're going to be comparing us between, like, somebody mentioned that, like gas stations. Who has the cheaper price? I'm just going to go there, especially if they're right next to each other and one is cheaper. So that's where we can actually help a lot. And then we have post-sales. And that depends on the company. It could be that the sales team, both of us, transfer information to customer success, or it could be just owning it if there is no customer success team, and in that case building relationships, that sort of thing. So if there's a lot of overlap between the two, when we're talking about the discovery, there's the business discovery and the technical discovery, that both, like, the salesperson is focused more on the business discovery, the SE does both. The demo, the POV, that's where, if you've ever seen a tennis doubles game, that's where one person is at the net and pretty much taking care of every ball, and then there's one guy in the back or one gal in the back, and they're kind of taking care of the balls that fell through. And then they're the ones in the front for the proposal and negotiation, and the SEs are the ones in the back. So yeah, these are the roles and responsibilities. It could be different for different companies. So make sure you understand the roles and responsibilities in your own company. But if you can stick to that, and also there's a lot of relationship building, especially if there's a post-sales component where we continue selling to the same customers over and over, that both SEs and salespeople have to perform. And same in pre-sales as well. Like we have to, both of us are building those relationships. So the biggest part of all that is this gives you a basic understanding of what the relationship could look like or what needs to be done. But you're gonna have to modify it and adapt to your own personal teams. It could be different in different aspects. Maybe the salesperson does all the discovery, and then the SE comes and does the demo based on the discovery the salesperson did. So now it's their responsibility, the salesperson's responsibility, to do a proper discovery so that the SE can do a proper demo. If the discovery is not done well, the demo is not going to be done well. And then the SE will have to do the discovery during the call, during the demo, and basically you just ruin the relationship there, or at least you added tension. So every time if someone mismanages a POC, that adds tension. If the SE does everything right and then the salesperson can't negotiate a proper price, that builds tension. If there are stuff in the demo that SE needs to follow up after the call and they forget, that builds tension. So there's a lot of things that could build tension or could alleviate tension with your account management team. That could help. So that's it for today. I do a lot of this. I help a lot of SEs with this on the hotline. So if you need help, if you want to understand this more, if you have your own personal situation that you need to go through, check out the SE hotline. It's there for you, and it's meant to help SEs get better in their role. So check it out, WeTheSalesEngineers.com. And that's it for me for today. I'll leave a link to Tony Matos' book in the description below. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for listening. Get back to work. Peace.